This is more than a simple welcome and hello.
In this project I will have the role of coordinator, and I think that for archaeology it could be a sort of revolution to automatize part of our process.
I'm here in Pisa for the kick-off meeting of the project, which is very exciting. It's the first time that I've met many of the other partners. It's a very ambitious project, so if it's successful, it will completely transform the way that field archaeologists work, but also great researcher gains.
It's going to be a revolution because most of the time that archaeologists are working are doing things that can be automatized. Consuming time in routine things is useless, and this project is in the way to give time to do proper knowledge, to produce proper knowledge.
Oh, finally I am able to give a name, to give a chronology to this piece of shed that I haven't seen before.
Given a photo, it will be able to suggest to the archaeologist which kind of pottery it pertains, and will give all the information about that.
It's a very difficult challenge, no? Because there are a lot of kinds of ceramics.
Big projects, there are always milestones which are achievable and milestones which are more a vision. But this doesn't mean that visions can't come true in a way.
It will help a lot, not only professional archaeology, mainly professional archaeology, but also, can you imagine, for educational purposes, teaching cultural stuff, a lot.
It's really important for the people who make rescue archaeology, so the people that really work on the excavation side where they are building new buildings or new streets, and they have to be very fast and excavate and give information.
It's not the thing that after these 3 years it will be done. I think there is a lot of things to do, also questions about economics, about fabrics, about chemical analysis, and things which also can be integrated in this database, in this big database.
Archaeology and technology. So, no problem for the future.
I think archaeology is going to change a lot in the next years. We can see it in day-to-day life, how all the informatics, all the smartphones, all the tablets are part of our life, and they're all of them are going to be part of our work in the field for sure. So I think we are doing something that is going to be the future. And maybe with our project, we're going to put the first brick of what will be coming in the next years.
So we are in March 2017. We are more or less around 1/3 of the project.
We are at the University of Pisa in the MAPPA lab, and we are the coordinator of the project. We will have a lot of tasks to do, especially related to data acquisition, taking of pictures, population of the database, communication of the project, and finally data analysis and data visualization.
We're working on the statistical analysis of the data that ArchAIDE project is collecting. For example, by linking together location where ceramics are produced and found, in order to create such networks. And the ultimate goal is to, for example, cluster such network and understand if there are preferred or commercial routes. At the end, we will create a tool for visualization and interaction for the future users and archaeologists on the website of ArchAIDE in order to understand the vast amount of data produced by the project.
The entire project, of course, ArchAIDE is trying to create a new form of technology to allow archaeologists who are not necessarily specialists to be able to identify pottery in an automated way. But the thing that we're quite interested in, as well as this new technology, is the fact that it means that there will be a considerable number of comparative collections that will be created, that will be a resource for archaeologists that was not necessarily something that we thought of at the beginning of the project. I don't think that's already starting to emerge as being something that's quite important.
We are currently in the process of creating a database where we would like to store all the different classes of the pottery that have been selected.
The database in itself is a strong result and extremely useful for the archaeologists.
Only one place, a big database instead of many different paper catalogs.
When people think about the archaeology, usually thinks about statues, Polycletus, Phidias, and so on. But 90% of the archaeological research is to study a lot of small fragments of ceramics. We came every day from every digs in every part of the world.
Together with the population of the database, we are trying to provide some tools to be able to automatically digitize the paper catalogs and come out with some interesting information.
Welcome everybody, and we are at the ISTI CNR in Pisa, and I'm going to present you some work, great work that we are doing for the ArchAIDE project.
In this moment of the project, we are mainly focusing on the part related to the population of the reference database that will be used by the classification system, starting from the paper catalogs.
At this screen you can see that we scan archaeological catalogs with many vessels, and you can see the catalog is very well structured.
And we want to be able to extract depictions and then extract from these depictions much more information about the shape of the objects.
On the right side we have the drawings, and these drawings, these guys are very important because they have all the information that we need in order to reconstruct a 3D model of the ancient vessel that it doesn't longer exist, or we just have some shreds that are quite useless.
So geometric features and possibly also 3D representation of the type.
From this image we can extract all the information, such as the inner part of the handle, the outer part of the handle, the inner part of the body and the outer part of the body, including the section of the handle. At this point, we just need to press a button, compute, and done. Now we have the reconstructed version into Mesher, because this thing can be used for many uses. For example, our colleagues in Tel Aviv will use this, will start from this 3D model and they will virtually break in order to simulate the aging process that these vessels had been through in order to understand from which kind of vessel the shreds that we have come from.
Hi, welcome to the University of Barcelona. In the Department of History and Archaeology, we are specialized in ceramics from all periods.
One of the main activities we are developing at Barcelona is taking photos about all the archaeological pottery that will contribute to populate the database of ArchAIDE and also to train the system. This means that we must find between 2 and 3 shards for each single type of each single typology. We take these photos following some guidelines that our ICT colleagues already provide us.
Welcome to King's Manor in the heart of medieval York. We host and preserve data and make it available for reuse.
Welcome to the ADS.
The role of the Archaeology Data Service in the ArchAIDE project covers a number of aspects. We provide data reusing our archives, such as the Roman Amphora database, and we also have an important role in the dissemination of the academic results of the project to both the research community and professional archaeologists.
My particular interest and work today is not just to think about the database design, but to put more of a focus on, is it reusable and understandable? We take that very seriously. So in this case, we'll look to disseminate this data in as wide a number of formats as possible.
One of the main things that we're working on right now is the dissemination aspects of the project, dissemination to our stakeholders, of people who probably will end up using the ArchAIDE app, and also the people who are helping to inform us about how to make changes, what we can do differently. We've got people from all over the world who have decided to be associates with us, which is fantastic. So we've tried to come up with different ways to work with them according to what they say they're interested in.
And this is the first workshop of the ArchAIDE project.
We also have workshops or times when they can actually help us test the app and things like that. So this is something that's just progressing. We're just getting it going now, but we're really excited about it.
I'm a freelance archaeologist and work in Oman.
I'm an archaeologist. I'm a freelancer.
I'm a South Arabian archaeologist.
I work in Turkey, in Egypt, in Syria, in Greece.
We are outside Italy, outside Europe, so we have a problem to find paper catalog
It's fundamental in my everyday life to recognize and study and dating ceramic.
As I'm working in foreign countries, the problem with paper catalogs is that they are very heavy, also to be brought by travel.
I hope that it will be possible to use it offline, because we work sometimes in a so difficult condition. In some places it's not possible to have a good connection. The most difficult thing is to make archaeologists more confident with technology.
The problem maybe is in the mind of the people that use that.
Sometimes archaeologists are jealous to share the data, and this is a big problem.
For a preliminary study, for me it's possible.
Some years ago was a dream.
We are arriving in Barcelona for our technical meeting. It's a crucial moment. We hope to solve all the problems and to improve our application. In Barcelona there is also the EAA conference, one of the biggest conferences related to the archaeology.
ArchAIDE will present 2 talks, and we have a stand to show the first release of the app of ArchAIDE.
We find some problem related to the recognition of pottery, that is the core of our project.
The system to recognize the appearance of the sherd is quite ready, but after the first test we see that there are some problems with the balance of light, with the background of the picture, and I think that after this meeting the direction is good.
The shape recognition is not available yet, and for the Majolica, for the image recognition, it works quite well. So it's more difficult as we thought before, because it's not just creating the app, it's also all the back end, the training of the neural network.
The core of our research, currently developed by the University of Tel Aviv, is a deep learning system through the training of 2 different neural networks. One for the appearance-based recognition, that means decoration, and one through the extraction of profile for the shape-based recognition. In this moment, our application is working, but it's working only with the appearance-based recognition. If you go to our stand number 33, you can try the app with the appearance-based recognition.
And we've had some really interesting conversations telling people about the app. We've got the image recognition for decoration working, and we're able to demonstrate that to people here at the conference. You can choose a sherd and then take a photograph of it, and then what we do is we send that image through to the database to bring back 5 results. Then you, as the pottery specialist, can look and say, yes, I agree that is that particular type of pottery sherd by looking at the catalogue, or no, I don't agree. Once you're happy that it matches a specific typology, there you go. You can click on I'm happy with that one, and then you can save it to your assemblage.
We are really happy because there's a lot of people coming around asking about information of ArchAIDE. They want to check if the app is working or not working. They are making lots of questions to us, and they're really interested to know if it's going to work for all the archaeological pottery you can find in the world.
They understand that we start just with some kinds, and that we hope that the project will improve with more aspects and more kinds of pottery.
Everybody everybody's asking, can I download now the app? Please, I want to have it in my cell phone. And we're like, no, you have to wait. Soon you will be able. So we're really happy.
It's incredible. It's coming people around the world.
We got a lot of email addresses, and we will get in contact with all the people and hope that they will be in contact and happy with our work too.
Welcome to Tel Aviv University, the biggest university in Israel. Our team is part of the Blavatnik School for Computer Science. Deep learning is a discipline in the machine learning field, which is capable of producing tools that surpass human-level accuracy on a wide range of tests.
ArchAIDE is part of a larger effort to promote the discipline of computational humanities.
The first type of classification we perform is based on appearance. We enable archaeologists to take pictures with their smartphones of the sherds found on the field and have their decoration matched with the type from the catalogs.
The computer is trying to learn from the design and recognize the different designs based on many examples. And what we're trying to do is not to necessitate taking more photographs, but taking the photographs that we already have and asking the computer to make variations. So by algorithmic methods, change the lighting, change the contrast, change the background, or separate the picture of the pottery from the background, and try to do this all in an automatic way, and hopefully that will more than suffice, and there will be no need at this point to redo photographic assays.
The second type of classification we perform is based on the shape of the fracture of the sherd. Using the profiles collected by our colleagues from ISTI, we reconstruct the 3D models of the pottery. We then break these models to obtain thousands of training sherds to feed our classification system.
With the shape, the computer is learning just from outline of the fracture, but completely different techniques. And the recognition based on shape, this is more innovative. One of the things that's different from most problems in vision is that it's important here to distinguish between the interior and the exterior of the original vessel that you have this sherd from, something that doesn't play as much of a role in other recognition problems out there. This is a crucial period because things are moving out of the laboratory into the field.
Welcome in Vienna. Welcome to the Congress Visual Heritage.
We are here to present ArchAIDE, speaking about the new steps that we reached in the last month.
Now I'd like to introduce Leo Wolf to make this keynote. Thank you and enjoy it.
Leo Wolf gave a keynote, especially about ArchAIDE and the progresses that the Tel Aviv University reached in developing the deep learning models, especially for the shape-based recognition.
In many cases, you don't have these nice paintings that you can use for cognition, you only have the shape. So this is the fracture, and the outline is the only information that we can use. It makes sense that the curation would be easier, but it's also easier to humans. But in shape, it's much more challenging to humans, and there, even if the absolute performance is lower, we might give more value to the user. So it's hard to judge. We are happy about both. From a technological perspective, we had to work harder on the shape. What we are currently doing, it's a completely different version of what we earlier did. We had to revise everything after we saw that we are blocked with the performance that we get, and basically redesign the network, redesign the architecture, and start from scratch climbing the steps of accuracy.
Since Friday, we have been doing the expo. People are fairly amazed at what it can do, but the thing that I've really been trying to emphasize with our users is the way that we have thought through the workflow that we've created. So what we've really tried to do is make sure that we show that at the key points in the ArchAIDE workflow, when you're using the app, that the archaeologists are still making the decisions. Humans are still making the important decisions at the key points along the way, because if you don't trust that the data that has been created at the end is something that is true, that you can use for your research, you will not use it.
In Vienna, we'll have the last general meeting before the end of the project.
We are now in the last 6 months of ArchAIDE, which means we are having to make some difficult decisions in order to make sure that everything is completed on time.
We will discuss the progresses of ArchAIDE and also about the future of ArchAIDE, how to maintain our system, how to develop it.
And the goal of this project is to help archaeologists in the field.
This is a piece of Terra Sigillata Italica. For using our application, we have to draw both the external and the internal profile. The ruler is for scaling. Each square, black or white, is 1 centimeter large, and then we can start to draw the profile, starting from the external one. As long as we finish to put all our points, we ask which type of posture is this. The system gives us 5 different answers with a different value of affidability. In this case, we have as the first answer Conspectus form 34 with 99% of affidability. We can check if the system has given us the right answer, checking into the database for the images to compare with our posture. In this case, we can see that the drawing of this type of Terra Sigillata Italica, Conspectus form 34, is just the same as the one that we have found in our excavation. And then we can save to store all the data inside the application for new quantification and also for sharing the data with other researchers.
We have been working with different versions of the applications, and now we are testing the system. Some types of ancient pottery has no decoration, it's like this one. So in this case we use the shape recognition engine. So far, in my own experience, the results are pretty good working with shape recognition.
I am an archaeologist in Barraca Archaeologos, a small Spanish company specialized in archaeology and cultural heritage. Our main role in ArchAIDE project is the field test of the tool in real working scenarios. We are working with different types of natural light, both in the sun and shadow, and artificial light, incandescent, LED, fluorescent. We are optimistic about the future of ArchAIDE tool. We sincerely believe that it will be a very useful tool for archaeologists in general, both in the fields of professional and academic archaeology, and also for students. It will be necessary to find a way to continue increasing the databases of the tool and to extend its use to other types of archaeological ceramics.
We are now finally on the field after 3 years of great research work. And we are now finalizing our application both on mobile devices and on desktop. And we are carrying on the test bed for evaluating the performances. We are thinking about the future of our project. Our idea is to create a wider consortium of institutions, researchers, professional archaeologists who will help us to add data into our reference database, to improve our deep learning models for recognized pottery, for create a real functioning ArchAIDE system that could be really useful for archaeologists wherever they work.
Essentially poses a lot of very hard challenges because cultural heritage stuff is hard to handle and a different way of seeing that, in the sense that it is very small, very big, different shapes, different types of materials, very strong difficulties in acquiring the data and visualizing the data and so on. So it's a very strong challenge for computer graphics.
Quando potete, senza guardare me ma chiacchierando, entrate dentro la porta.
Guardando i Borgia c'è il cardinale Orsini che è potentissimo e quindi rifacciamo. Sei fiandato.